create good content, if you're tired of being at the behest of the social media algorithm as to who gets to see your stuff, especially when you've got something to sell, then you'll definitely want to watch this video. Let's talk about growing your email list, because as much as I love social media and I love talking about Facebook and Instagram, you are at the behest of social media algorithms as to who your content goes to. And an email list is vitally important for growing your business and growing your sales, because it allows you to send stuff directly to the people who are really going to want to see your content. You know that they want to see your content because they've subscribed to your email list. Whereas with Instagram and Facebook and other social media, whenever you post something, you're at the behest of that algorithm as to who that gets shown to. And as we all know at the moment, reach is not that great on Instagram. Now, I know you have to create good content. I've seen that said a million times, but the people I talk to who are creating good content, who used to have loads of views and loads of comments and loads of engagement, they're not getting it. So it's not a good enough excuse to say, oh, you've got to create more content, create good content, create content that people want to engage with, because we all know that our stuff is getting shown to less people. So this is a prime example of why we do need to have an email list, which is our property, that no one else can say, oh, it goes to this person or that person, and it is full of people that actually are our engaged followers. Okay, so we talked about why you need an email list. Let's talk about how to get people onto your email list. Now, I've got a system I follow for this. It's quite simple. I'm going to break it down into steps for you so that you can go off and apply it yourself. But first, we need a reason as to why people want to be on your email list, because the days of going, hey, do you want my newsletter? And who uses newsletter now, apart from people who slide in my DMs saying, hey bro, do you have a newsletter that you speak to your clients with? Yeah bro, I do, and you're not going to help me write it because you use the word newsletter. People have to want to have something that you've got, so what can we give them that they're going to want to have? Well, of course, we could use a lead magnet. I'm not a fan of the word lead magnet. I prefer to call my lead magnets free products or free trials. It's essentially a trial of what they're going to get working with me as their mentor, as their business coach. So I want to make sure this thing is actually something that they want, and it's going to show them that I can help them in some way. And as a coach, whoever you coach, you should be thinking about things that people are going to want to get, so that you can show them you're the right coach for them. Now, I've got another video I did, which I'll link here, which talks about the perfect lead magnet and what you should be putting into it and what you should and shouldn't do. So I won't talk about that here. Go and watch that video and it will give you that rundown. Once you've got your lead magnet, which is going to attract your perfect clients, you then need to post about it on social media. There's a few ways to do this. You could use Reels, you could do a single image post, but the thing that I found most successful in getting people to say, hey, I want your lead magnet, is using a carousel. The reason for that is that carousels are easy to swipe through, they're easy to read if you do it right, and there's a process that you could use, which I'm going to go through in a minute, to build that carousel out. So actually, it's a logical thing for them to say, yeah, I actually do want that thing. And we want that carousel to get good organic traction, organic engagement, poor though that is at the moment on Instagram, so we know it works and we know that people are going to engage with it. So the way we build our carousel out is the way that I build most of my content, and it follows a plan. And I love my acronyms. So plan is an acronym. So we've got the purpose, the problem, or the promise. This is also referred to as the hook with most content. And then you've got the light bulb moment, which is when they go, ah, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Thank you for saying that. Or thanks you for letting me know. And then you've got action, which is the thing they need to do, or the thing they need to stop doing in order to solve this problem or achieve this promise which you've been talking about. And then the next steps is the thing they need to do. So that's the call to action. That's get my lead magnet. So an example of this would be potentially someone who is having trouble with snacking. Let's say evening snacking. So you can say, here's the way I stop myself snacking in the evening without actually stop myself snacking in the evening. Really weird? but it gets the hook, it gets the interest. So then in the light bulb, you might talk about the fact that most people do upset their diet. They're good in the day, but then they snack in the evening, which puts them over their calorie surplus, and that's what makes them gain weight. However, telling people to stop snacking hardly ever works, because they're just going to sit there in front of the TV, go, oh, what am I going to do? And they end up snacking anyway. And you don't have to stop snacking, because it's all about maintaining the calorie deficit, or however you want to talk about your weight management in your program. So that's the light bulb moment. And then we can talk about the action. Well, the action could be, I use certain techniques such as break cues, which I talked about in my physique coaching, and this helps you to regulate your snacks while still enjoying snacks in the evening. And I've put this technique in with a whole load of other stuff you could do in my stop snacking in the evening by not stopping snacking in the evening guide, which you can get by downloading here. Just say yes please, and I will send it over. That could also be in a reel video if you wanted to do it that way, or in a longer form video like these ones on YouTube. The important thing is you can repurpose the content for different places, but I found that a carousel works better because it allows someone to read and swipe through and go back if need be very easily. And the key thing here is when you're doing this carousel, you make it talk about a story, a thing that it's solved, an example, so you're showing how it works, so that then people read it and go, oh, that's pretty good, that's, yeah, I can see how that works. Yeah, I'd like some of that, please. Rather than just treating it like a textbook and going, do this, do this, do this, do this, because people don't really engage with that. So make sure it talks about a story, how it solved a problem for either one of your clients or how you've solved a problem yourself, and people will be more likely to engage with that story because they can see it working and they can see how it works. Okay, so once you've created that carousel, you then need to put it out there, and you might need to tweak it a few times. So I've done this with my content where I've designed the same type of carousel a couple of times, and I've put it out there and seen what works the best. And each time you're asking someone to comment to get the thing that you're selling. So in the thing we've just talked about, the snacking thing, you might say comment snack, and I'll send it right over. The reason why we use a keyword is that if you wanted to connect a automation bot such as ManyChat, you can do that, and the ManyChat will pick up on the word and send things out automatically. Now, you don't have to use ManyChat. I do in my business, and you'll see why in the next step when we come to it. It's a good way of saving time, making sure people get the thing that they want to immediately. I used to do stuff myself, so when someone commented, I used to go back into my Instagram, look at the comments, and then write them a little text message, say, hey, thanks for commenting, here's the thing, here's the link. That got quite tedious after a while, and although that doesn't sound a lot, when you're writing those texts out manually each time and putting the link in there manually each time, and yes, I know I could have had a little notes thing which I just copied and paste, but I'm not a copy and paste type of guy. And also when you do that, you inevitably every now and again end up pressing send before you've ended the hi first name bit, and immediately you've earned their utter disdain, and you'll really kick yourself in the head for doing it. Now, once you get tired of doing all those comments and replies yourself, and you're willing to spend a few quid per month, you could get ManyChat, link it into your Instagram. It costs about £10 to £15 per month, something like that. It's not a lot of money, but it does save you a lot of time. But the key thing here is it sends that thing out to them very quickly when they're still interested and they haven't forgotten that they've replied to the comment. Because the worst thing you could do is come back a day later saying, hey, here's the thing you asked for, and they go, what thing's that? I can't remember doing that. And then you've got to explain to them, and it's all a bit awkward. So you can use ManyChat to respond to a comment, but you can also set it up to respond to clicks on an advert. But here's the thing, if you're doing it organically, that means you've got to repost that thing every couple of days or every week or so and pick up on those organic posts. What I like to do is once I've got something that I know works good organically, I then like to put a little bit of money behind that, turn that post, which is very easy to do, into a Facebook ad, put a couple of quid behind it each day, and then just have the button go to Messenger rather than go to a website. I found that by having it go to Messenger or go to Instagram chat is a lot more cost effective because it's keeping the person on that platform, which Instagram and Facebook like. They don't like diverting them away from the platform onto your website. That's going to cost you more money. The other key thing here is that when you're doing that, you're opening up a chat, a messenger, a conversation, so then you can actually have a conversation with these people, because if you want to coach them, you're going to want to build up a personal relationship. And for me, I like to talk to the people before I start coaching with them, before I start pitching them sales, that sort of thing. It feels more natural to me to actually have a conversation, make sure I like that person, that they like me, and we've got a little bit of rapport before we start talking about the money side of things. It just feels a bit more natural to me, so that's why I prefer that method. And the people I work with, we get on great, and that makes the business relationship and the productivity a lot better as well. So you can use ManyChat to automate that process, and the beauty of having it as an ad is that you can tailor who it goes out to. I'm not going to go into audience selection, all that sort of stuff, because this isn't the video to do all that sort of stuff, but you can target your existing followers who are engaged with you and people like your followers who might like to see it as well. And then you just keep it running and monitor how much it's costing you for the cost per click or the cost per conversation, and also how many people you're getting coming in. Now, with doing this, I've managed to grow my email list very quickly. I was doing this organically and manually adding people from the process we talked about before, but I found that actually setting up the advert and making sure it is targeted with that carousel that was already getting good engagement organically, it works a lot better. And I've actually grown my email list by around about 50 to 60 people per month at the time of recording this video, and they are all people who are my ideal clients or close to being my ideal clients. And my email open rate has stayed at around about 40 to 50%, which is really, really important, because like I talk about on the other video, if you're attracting the wrong people and your email rate open rate is low, then you're wasting your money on subscribers who aren't your ideal customer, and you're very unlikely to sell to them. So a quick run through the process is get a lead magnet that is perfect for your ideal customer, create a carousel that talks about why it's important to do this thing, and here's the lead magnet or the free trial to help you do it. Make sure that's good organically, tweak it a few times until it is good organically, and then once it is good organically and you're getting a few responses from it, put a little bit of money behind it, say £3 to £5 per day, and set it up with an automation to go to a messenger chat that you can start a conversation with them, send them the link and have a quick conversation as well. And optional, you can add in a ManyChat integration there as well to make all that process very easy. Now, the thing that's important to note here is that many people say, oh, this is great, set up ManyChat as automated, everything else. You've got to go back into those things and follow up those conversations with people, because it's okay having these automations that, oh, here's the thing, click this, asking them questions, getting them to press buttons. But until you start to make that conversation a bit more tailored to what they reply to, you're not really going to build that rapport that you want with people. So the key thing here is the automation start the process, and you talking to them and picking up on those people that come in. That's what's going to then push you further along the process, and hopefully they turn into clients for you. Okay, that's the process in a nutshell. Don't really do outros. Hope it works for you. See you on the next video.